Hey there, Bright Lake family, it's Ted. I wanted to come to you today with a market update post-election. Donald Trump was re-elected to the presidency, and so with that brings a whole lot of anticipation about new economic policies. While there's a whole lot of different economic policy points that the market's been digesting, one that it really seems to be focused on is everything surrounding corporate tax rates. Today, corporate tax rates sit over 20%, and Donald Trump has promised to lower them to the 15% range. And because public market companies trade at a multiple of their profits, that adds a lot potentially to the bottom line. And so we've seen a big surge in the value of stocks already. Now, another really important consideration in the market's ability to move upward in the way that they have is the fact that the markets aren't having to digest so much uncertainty anymore. The presidential race that we've just gone through has been a very, very contentious one. And at the end of the day, if there's one thing that the markets hate, it's not knowing what's going to happen. And so I think regardless of our political affiliation, to see the result of the election be very clear is a really good thing for the financial markets in terms of how it digests what's going to be happening going forward. It doesn't have to guess anymore. And at least in terms of the financial markets, that does tend to be a really good thing. Now, of course, it's hard to think outside of the presidential election when we think about the markets right now. But I will say this, as important as economic policy is from the executive branch, I cannot sit here and have a conversation about the financial markets with you without also talking about monetary policy. So many times over the last several years, we've talked about the Fed and the Federal Reserve's position on interest rates. And in addition to the presidential election, we did see Jerome Powell come out and lower interest rates further, about 0.25%. That is a slight continuation of the big change we've seen in Fed policy, moving from just an interest rate hiking cycle into what we believe to be an interest rate lowering cycle. Now, we don't expect that to come down as fast as it has gone up, but that is an unbelievably heavy hand on the financial markets. And so it's another contributor to the markets surging higher. Again, we've seen the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 move drastically in the upward direction. I think that will come back to earth at least slightly, and we'll continue to monitor the new economic data as it comes out as always. If you ever have questions, please let us know, but we will be back in touch with you as we have more economic data to discuss and how it's affecting the markets as we see them today. And as we always say here at Bright Lake, have hope in a bright future.